Welcome to yet another edition of ZENPod. Today we have the illustrious Mahesh Vinayakram, son of the Ghatam legend Padmabhushan T.H.Vikku Vinayakram. Mahesh is the first Indian male singer to be cast in the theatre Cirque du Soleil. He is a UNESCO Millennium Award winner who started his career as a solo vocalist at the age of 12. He is a senior disciple of Srimati Radha Viswanathan, the daughter of Bharat Ratna Smt M.S.Subbulakshmi. Being a master's degree holder in sociology from Madras University, Mahesh's passion has always been music. Having performed in all metro cities as a sole Carnatic performer, he has trained himself as a contemporary singer for various world-class musicians such as Ustad Zakir Hussain, Steve Smith, Talvin Singh, George Brooks, among other greats. He has also sung in Bollywood and Hollywood movies and has given out a few hit songs. Some of his notable productions include Charishnu, supported by the Indian Cultural Department, the Government of India, which included 35 dancers and 8 art forms with 7 leaders for each of the forms. KNG Business Class Refugee, a digital new age live music and dance production by Indo-Israel band Ethno Hysteria by Matija Solshia and friends from Slovenia. He has toured extensively for world music productions and also as a freelance singer for various artists and festivals, to list a few in the US, Germany, France, Italy, Norway, Sweden, etc. etc. Some of Mahesh's awards include the Award of National Scholarship from the Central Government of India, UNESCO Award for the Millennium Concert held in Indonesia, Asthana Vidwan of Kanchi Sri Shankaramat by Shankaramadam, Kanchipuram, Maharajapuram Santhanam Award by Krishna Gana Sabha, Best Performance Award by High Commission of India Concert. Some of his notable albums include the MTV Coke Studios production song Vachan, Shruti Box production in the US, Terracotta for Zuma, Bravado Masala along with James Asher, Journeys Through Masters of Percussion, Drums on Fire, Icon, Carnatic Classicals, Impressions, and The New Morning as a DVD in collaboration with BBC Live. Today we have somebody really special on our show, as you've heard from my intro. Welcome Mahesh, and thank you very much for agreeing to come on our show.
Good evening.
Namaskaram. Thank you. So let's jump straight into it. Mahesh, your definition of spirituality.
Oh, it's a really big topic to discuss, but still God always attracts me because that tag, whatever you call it as God or gut feeling or positivity or Reiki or how much ever synonymous you give to the term God is so beautiful because for me, I see the God as a very beautiful perspective in my lifestyle, which I tag it as first. In the tag priority, I would just say discipline. So for me, God is discipline. So I learn discipline when there is a tag called godly feeling. And also the respect what you give is what you respect yourself. So when there is God in you, it's very natural that she or he lives in me. I'm here to celebrate it. So Iraivan உயிர்களை படைக்கின்றான் உன்னுள் அவனும் இருக்கின்றான். So when there is possibility on you, he also resides in me. So that's in form of difference. So that's here I am to be to be experienced and to experience that. And the purpose of our life is all about how you live and how it can be positively helpful to the people, and then how you connect, and then you take your frequency to the next level. And then you feel what is all about. All the things is a journey which is related to the God factor. So in that way, I would say that godly starts from the mother and father. So Shruti Mata Laya Pita, the same way we always say that Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, Atiti Devo Bhava. The first God for me is all my mom, and she's my first guru. So my mom and dad are the ones, the reason that I'm in front of you. Brilliant. So the real God, I've seen that.
True. Very nice. Very, very deep definition. You know, this question I ask so many people, and it's really beautiful that I get different answers from people. And that really shows that people do look at spirituality in different ways. So that's nice. How does a normal day look like for Mahesh Vinayakram?
As you see that music is my medium.
Right.
and also my vision and also my perception. Of course, it starts with my spiritual learning and the spiritual teachings which I've got from my gurus. It starts with the morning pranayama and whatever spiritually I do. I just finished that puja and stuff. And then it comes the real practice, because the workout is very important for any kind of art form or any kind of work, what you do. So the time really matters. So for technically, since I'm into music, I will tell you why there is an importance on time zone when we say riyaz and the practice or sadhana or whatever you call the sadhagam, or you practice, the, especially speaking on the voice and the human voice, when you get up from the body, I mean, there is a three states how you are. The swapna is the sleeping state, and then what you are here is a state, and then the intermediate between is a state. That's what we're trying to achieve in yogic science.
Correct.
So when you're aware, when your body, mind, and soul. So when you get up from the bed, your body sometimes is not ready.
Correct.
But your mind is already charged, and then it's like tons of things comes on the mind, and then your body is not ready. So it takes time, and then when your body is ready, and then mind is already then, and you see that okay, you're here. That time is so powerful. They always say. So when you get up from there, and also technically when you get up, you don't get any sound on the palate.
Okay.
So that's the time that when you practice, then the palate will really open. For example, 4 to 6 is the Brahma Muhurtam, which is supposed to be the very sacred, not just because of thing, it's so scientific. There are 2 time zones, 12. So from 1:12, we are able to see because we are awake. The second 12 is where like we get, and the body takes time, and then after 16 hours, then it goes, and then body needs its time, and it goes, and we sleep. So we don't get to see the 24 hours zone. Correct. When we are awake.
Correct.
So the time zone, so each of the body works on different timing. So if you see all the heart stuff is all works on, midnight 2 to 6.
Correct.
So all the attacks happens on the heart. Correct. Is all on the, so each of the organs works in different timing. So when there is all the system which goes inside and this inner engineering of the human science works on different timing. And the same way we are cosmic. We almost forgotten that we are cosmic. So that's the reason that when the sun rises, you have to rise with the sun, because there is a radiation which passes on starting of the sunrise. Of course, now there are apps to get it. So you can get the sunrise, and within that 10 to 12 minutes from the sunrise is the beautiful orange, and also the glow, the UV which you get is completely clear form without the, and that is what we need actually. That's called the vitamin C. So the more it goes, then the UV goes in a higher degree where our lateral body cannot take it. So if you just get up from the bed at 12 and you say that, okay, I want to see the sun, and it's already on the peak. Okay. So that's really harmful. So for the people who live in India, they always care about their complexion. They don't even go on the sun because we get tan, because we are not white people. We're like our skin. So we want to be so much. So we always prefer to go to snow stuff. So coming back to it, the time zone. So morning 4 to 6 is a very beautiful time. So when you get up in the early morning, and when you jog, or when you are just physically, you take something, and then you don't feel that fatigue. You don't feel that in the noon.
Correct.
The same way, when you practice 1 hour vocal, im are the 3 tonalities of the mouth expression without the usage of the teeth. Okay. The sounds akaram, ukaram, makaram comprises all together becomes Om. Om has different meaning in different religions and different regions and different countries. Om, it's like some people always say AUM. That's because akara, ukara, makara. So we try to incorporate the same concept with the nada, with the sound. So we do that sound. all this staccato and all this vibrato. We all do that exercises in Sarali Varsagal. We have the authentic traditional exercises which we follow. So we do this in the morning. So once you
Wow.
do this, it's amazing. And also when you do that, and then
Mhm.
my schedule starts, and then of course after that, now it's a different story. So all the time I had to be there, and of course I have two children, so my son and my
Oh, nice.
daughter.
Very nice.
So my daughter is studying in ninth standard.
Nice,
She's
nice.
14,
Very
and the
nice.
younger one is 11. That's the grand production I could do, and credit goes to my wife too. It's a grand release that happened 14 years before. It's a unique collaboration with my wife, so I can't take the full credits. I own the copyrights though.
Yes.
It's equal.
Oh, very nice, very nice, very beautiful. Awesome. Your first experience or your first tryst with spirituality.
That happened when when my life met with Sri Mahapariva, and
Oh,
exclusively, I would say that my life changed completely in a different direction. And it's a vast topic to say. And I had the uh, golden opportunity to be with Mahapariva for almost 28 years.
oh, lucky you.
Uh,
Wow.
yeah. So since my childhood, I'm 41,
Mhm.
and since my childhood, like I would say, I got introduced when I was 12 years old. I
Mhm.
had the darshan, so we used to go to Kanchipuram
Oh, very nice.
so often, like three days, three times a week, and
Oh,
we
wow.
are a simple family from
Very
Chennai. And from then it took, and the main reason was that our spiritual guru is called as Brahmashri Pradosham Venkatraman, who was called as 64th Nayanmar. So once Periba was just saying that he was explaining about 61st Nayanmar, 62, 63, and then he jumped to 65th Nayanmar, who he referred one of the yogi, not only in India, in Russia.
Oh,
So
oh,
he was just saying that the tapasvis, the yogis are not belongs only to India. They are
okay.
completely on the global, where in many lokas, like now we are in Bhuloka, Bhualoka, Swaloka. So in any lokas they have a sancharis, they can roam in a different plane, in a different. So he referred to one of the yogi called Tavarishi,
Okay.
and he lived in Russia. So he said, he quoted him as 65th Nayanmar, and he did not say about 64th. So
Oh,
this happened like after 2 years. He was just asking, he said, like, என்னடா நான் அப்போ வந்து 61 62 சொல்லியாச்சு, 65 சொல்லிட்டேன், 64th 64வது சொல்லவே இல்லையே அப்படின்னு.
wow.
நீங்க தான் சொல்லணும் பெரியவா அப்படின்னு. இங்க இந்த பிரதோஷம் வெங்கட்ராமன் இருக்காரு இல்லையா, அவர் தான் 64வது நாயன்மார்
Wow.
அப்படின்னு he said in Tamil. So 64th Pradosha Sivanayinmar அப்படின்னு we used to call him.
Wow.
And he was called as Pradosham Venkatraman. And he is our spiritual guru who
Nice.
introduced us to Mahaperiyava.
Oh. And how
So
was, yeah, 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 yeah. Sorry.
he had has a very intense uh, darshan. For us in lateral C or in this kind of frequency where we are, we could not and we cannot understand how the darshan was. So
Correct.
he really proved himself that he showed the darshan thrice or many a times. He
Wow.
was the Parameshwaran and he was the avatar of Shankaracharya, Adi Guru. So he showed himself that he's the successor of Adi Shankaracharya. So he had the darshan of that. So and many a times life-changing things has happened to me, and actually exclusively for our family
Yeah.
and my father and in our family. So that was the life-changing thing, that the spirituality really was planted in me, because my mom always says, என்ன அறுத்தாலும் எனக்கு உள்ள பெரியவா தான் தெரியவா
Oh, how
அப்படின்னு.
nice. How nice. Oh, that's
So
divine.
that was the plant, that was the seed she planted in us, and that's where it just growing. And where you are, they always say that whatever you are, you become. And
Yes.
You see a Buddha, then you plant that,
Yeah.
and then you always do
Yeah.
it. Then that's the extempo of whatever you see. So
Very
that's the
awesome. You're speaking of family, Mahesh. You come from an enviable and illustrious family of musicians. How does it feel?
beautiful. It's to be gifted. Especially, I have a great connection to my grandfather,
Okay.
Brahmashri T.R. Arihara Sharma, who's
Right.
the father of my father,
Correct.
Vikuji. So he's the banyan tree. He's the Alavriksha. He's the one who started the legacy. He was a simple Mridangam artist,
Oh,
but he had so much of positivity inside. He was a Dirgadarshi. He could understand when he would go from his physical body. So he told my father that this date I will leave my physical body. He was a long time yogi,
okay.
and he said that this is the day I will go. You will be in US, and somebody will give you ticket. Somebody will make you fly. You
My,
will come, and this
oh,
all the things he told. And
nice.
then he said that this thing this will happen, and when I die, please don't make a crying scene.
Yeah.
So I want the music to be there. I want the Vishnu Sahasranam to be heard, and MS Vishnu Sahasranam should be there, and don't restrict any students who are coming, because we had a small school
Oh,
where all the people comes for the institution for a class. It's called Shri Jaya Ganesh Tala Vadya Vidyalaya.
okay.
And so all these things he just scheduled. And also he told my mother, he said that, okay, you three are three brothers. Salva Ganesh, you have a bigger finger. So it's better you choose Kanjira instead of Mridangam. Sorry, he said instead of Mridangam, you choose Kanchira, because there is already two masters. So if you want to excel, then you need at least a decade to come over. So
Right.
to come faster, pick the instrument called Kanjira. After Harishankar, you will be the king. So now you know that Remo Kanjira is our brand, and wherever you go, even the Remo Kanjira is our make. Selvaji did the
Yes.
Remo Kanjira, and other brothers Uma Shankar. So he said, somebody has to take the father's instrument. You better take Ghatam as your
Oh,
mainstream.
okay.
Then he said, okay, you're the younger in the, boys. And he told my mother. And firstly, he said that you please take uh, melody, because we don't have melody in our family. We all are all rhythmic. So take a melody inside, but take the rhythm inside and portray yourself in the melody, like how piano is a percussive instrument, but its explanation and its extempo is melodic.
Correct.
The same way take the rhythm inside, but portray yourself as singer. The reason that you will be able to travel with your father, which happened. So I had it's like almost like 15 years I had the great opportunity to travel with my father across the globe. I had Asia, I've had Australia, US,
Yes.
and the Middle East travel along with ICCR. So I had traveled almost 15 to 17 years with my father, with my father's group called Saptakshara, with our family band. Father, three sons, and my sister's husband and his brother. So this happened because of my grandfather's vision. So I always feel that his presence is always there with me. So I was like clueless until 19 years.
How nice.
I was just going here and there, and then I finished my college, and I was the only one who went to college in the whole of my family, because we are simple musician family. So
Right.
nobody was there in academics. So my mom was so happy, and when I passed 12th, and she said I was just average 60 here, but she was flying. She said, "Oh wow, you got!" And the moment I got a college admission. She felt like I was just there on barrister. And she said, should I get you a tuxedo, or should I get it? I said, Mom, don't embarrass. She said, yeah, first நாளைக்கெல்லாம் நீ போற நீ நல்லா சூட்லாம் போட்டுன்னு போகணும்டா. Come on,
Nice.
அம்மா. Like, take it easy, Mom. And
Very
so I made her proud. And also I didn't leave it. I did my master also,
right.
but in sociology. But my soul was always into music. So music was my subject. So even in my college, so that's the law of attraction. Even in my college, my princi was a proper Tamil, a Carnatic Indian Brahmin who was so into this music. Come here, come. Then he's like that character. And then okay, so he used to come there, and he always speaks about Carnatic music. And he'll say, okay, now just tell me the difference between Kalyani and Mohan. He always like
Oh
that.
my God.
So and he said, okay, this is not for you. You do one thing for me. I'll make you as a cultural secretary. Then you do a sangita. You do three dances in a year. And then I want all the musicians to come and make it as a Mumurtigal festival. He said, okay, I'll do it. So I said, I have to go concert. He said, don't worry, you go, that's your way. But I'll make you as a cultural secretary. But 50% attendance, you'll have to come. I said, okay, sir. I used to directly go to the lecturer's house and then say Namaskaram. I do take the content and I used to explore. So I'll say introduction, and then I write the content in different colors, and then I expand that, and then do a conclusion. And everybody will think that, oh, okay, this is something bigger, but inside I would just write about Pani Puri, or I would just write about the raga.
Yeah, you guys did that on stage. I heard your Apple podcast. I mean, you guys are brilliant. Yeah, you spoke about idli sambar and masala dosa. And brilliant. No, so this is awesome. So much creativity, Mahesh. Where do you draw it from?
Thank you. Maybe it's because of my travel, I would say, because I always wanted to be like, my liberation was very, very important for me. Though I come from my mother, I'm here for my purpose and I have my vision. And I don't know where, and I don't worry rather, or I don't know where it is. But one thing for sure, I'm enjoying my travel and my journey. And that's what it really makes me interesting. And on each and every day, my musical journey has been so interesting. And it's not only about the music, it's about the perspective of your life. Not necessary that you need to go to United Kingdom to be a king. Correct. You can make your kingdom on your own, and you can live a king's life. It's just about how you perceive inside. It's not about outside. So that is why I relate the same when I'm in lockdown. So whatever I wanted to do outside, I also equally wanted to respect inside and feel the same inside. So that is the feeling that my travel really makes me happy. And travel is one of my important feeds that I won't change. I want color. Paradise is all about that.
Yes.
Different colors to the treat. It's a treat to the ears. It's a treat to the ears, saying that, okay, silence and golden water sound. That's therapy. That's just meditative. You just be there. I resonate so much with mountains. So when I had a chance to go to Salzburg, I felt the same Shiva Eislingam. There is a Untersberg. Untersberg is supposed to be in the ice in between the Salzburg in Austria, in this beautiful Austria, between the because Alps mountain, which comes from Switzerland, crosses the border of Austria, and there is one train which comes from Switzerland. It crosses 3 countries: Slovenia, Ljubljana city, and then it goes to Austria, which is Salzburg, and all the way it goes to Germany, which goes until Mannheim and until Frankfurt. So you take a train, you can enjoy all the scenery. And I had a golden opportunity to be there. Somehow I resonate so much with mountains and waters and nature. So this is a connect that I always. And when I went to Ladakh, the first sight of my Ladakh, oh my God, I could feel that wow factor. I saw the wow factor only when and also when you pitch yourself, you're cosmic. We are cosmic. We are forgetting.
Right.
I also wanted to speak about this. This human system is divided into 2 parts of the brain activity. Left is completely with the mathematics and survival. So whatever we do, whatever we take it, whatever we observe, becomes storage on your left side brain. Give importance on the right side to accept the ego and put down your ego and to surrender ourselves to the floor, wherever you are, no matter you are in a cathedral, you are in a synagogue, or you are in a mosque or in a gurudwara, or wherever you are. You just observe what is happening here, but don't be judgmental. Just see how it reacts in your system, then you will know how to. That's why we have the concept called, in abacus, we have this topukaranam. So the balancing of left and the right brain, and you do 10 times. And then also this left hand with the right hand with this mudra gives humility. So
Correct.
daily you try to, save, and also these creates such intensity in our system.
Awesome.
It's the Vedic science, which is completely super science,
So,
and that's amazing. So that's what really makes me. So when I connect with nature, I love sitting in vipassana. I love sitting in silence. Silence is golden.
mhm.
Silence is where the math is created. So if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and let's say 1, 2, 3, then the space ta, di, tum, nam, ta, di, tum, nam, ta, di, tum, nam, ta, di, tum, nam, ta, keda, ta. So the space matters. So for me, everything, since the music is just flowing in different ways, all, so my medium being the music, so I see all these textures and all these factors and all these improvisation, all these observation, I transform and perceive and project and portray them in the musical way. So wherever I go, I try to compose. I don't do composition, it just happens. And then I take it as an observation and I feed it, and so that it turns, and then it helps me to build up. And when I try to do it, these are the feeds which really helps me to, so when I do I just make it as a musical composition. So when it's just so interesting that when I go to different places, I feel so charged. I can't sit in one place actually.
Awesome.
I usually keep flying. Flying is the feel I have. I want to fly in my thoughts, I want to fly in my music, I want to be liberated no matter wherever I am. I'm free of everything. So Advaita Tattva is all about that.
Yes.
So attachment and detachment. Mandala, you do 6 months of small crafting, and then 1 second you destroy it. On the same way, you get attached with so much things, and then immediately you say, I don't want it. So I can be attached with the same, as I say this, and the next day I can be. And I want to be neutral because I wanted to enjoy Sukhahara, Dukhahara, Hara Hara Mahadev.
Correct.
So that's the feeling where, like, so since my medium is again the music, I want to experience all these feelings through the music.
Awesome. Wow. Music and spirituality. What is the point at which you believe, Mahesh, there is an intersection, and have you experienced it?
Yeah, for sure. That's a very interesting topic because I'm doing a research called Ragas in Relation with Nerves. The biology of a raga, how it relates and how it reacts with the human body. Sarigama padanisa sadida bamaga risa. This is a major scale. It's called Shankarabharanam.
Right.
Sarigama padanisa sanida bamaga risa. The same note with the difference of movement of Ma 1 and to the Ma 2, it becomes Mecha Kalyani.
Okay.
It's a science. So with the places of swaras like sa re ga ma pa da ni sa, do re mi fa so, the same one, with the sa pa being the prakriti, with the first note and the fifth note becomes the harmony. That's very important on any grammar. In India we have two strong grammar, one which comes from the northern India called Hindustani,
Right.
and where I hail from is the southern Indian one. It's called Carnatic music, Karnam Karneti Atakam. That which sounds good to the ears is called Carnatic. And sa pa, the first note and the fifth note are called Prakriti, sun and moon, which does not move. Riga Madani is the 5 notes which gives you variation. So that's called Vikriti, which gives you changes. So with the sun and the moon, all the stars evolve. So that's the cosmic setup. The same way, we also experience the same. Like not every day is so easy and sweet. So we go into changes.
Correct.
So whenever there is sun power comes, we are so confident and we are awake and we have power and we don't have a feeling of afraid of anything. So whenever the moon comes, there is a possibility for you to come out of all the, it can burst into anger, it can burst into many feelings, like you can cry. So these are the feelings. So that's why we say that the more amount of sun power you have, you should allow the physical body to sit on the moon so that it can come out and it takes on its own. So you should allow that to happen. You cannot manipulate saying, oh, this is not wrong. Just keep your body just there. It will happen. So not in a 30-day schedule, not every day is so happy and not every day is so dark. It all depends on the movement of the cosmic, and naturally the same way it happens for the music also. Sajamam, Panchamam becomes the Prakriti, Riga Madani the Vikruti. So two swaras of the Sajamam 2, and then the 5 with the places of 2, 5 into 2, 10, 10 plus 2, 12 swarasthana, places of swaras. With these possibilities, you expand into 14 swarasthanas. On the base of the 14 swarasthanas, we have the parental and also the karta ragas. On base of these one, we have a 72 parent raga system, which is the genus and the species.
Oh,
So
okay.
with these, each of these raga, all the children are born out of those. So with these scientific combinations, when you change and then permutation and combination, 42,733 possible combinations are there of
Wow.
the ragas. So coming back to the subject, answering to that, so when each of the ragas has its own feature, it has its significance. So the mudras, so if you have this 5 fingers,
Right.
so this finger has its own, when you say this thumbs up, yeah, that's a signature.
Right.
That's a mudra. That's something. And this has a, it says, oh, you. So that has the same way each of the finger has its own significance. We can't say that this is superior than is this.
Okay.
You
Okay.
might say that you like this, it's
Right.
your
Right.
choice.
Right.
Choice differs. It doesn't mean that just because you like this finger is so good, it doesn't mean that this is inferior. Or without the left hand, which takes care of all the civil works, you
Yes.
can't clean yourself.
Correct.
So that's why we say that to find a balance between brain. We always say that don't put the finger, leave the keys on the left hand, because it doesn't store
Correct.
on the brain.
Correct.
It stores when you put it on the right, then it stores.
Yes. Yes.
So it's not alarm waking you up. It's just the message what you feed in the brain. If you have an early flight, you just get up directly. If it's a easy Sunday, naturally you get up on 10:30 night. You get up on 11 noon in the easy. So it's just not alarm waking you. It's just the message what you feel in the brain on subconscious. It goes on such huge level that it gets stuck. So the moment it's 4 o'clock, you are on. So
Awesome. Awesome. I want to talk about your concept. I've been very intrigued. Carnatic. Let's talk about that, because that's first of all the name, and then why did you think about it, and how did it come about?
okay, Carnatic. Karna is the source and technology is TECH. Carnatic is the name of the system, which is KARNATIC. But my approach is that, for example, it's just a bridge between the technology and the source. Source is the Carnatic, the authentic system, and the technologies where, like, for example, you can't deny the evolution. You can say, I've also been worked with the live sessions of artists sitting with the spool recording. I have seen physically my father going for a session, a recording studio. I have seen Raghu sir editing the live one, cutting it. I've also seen that.
Wow.
And I've also seen the next generation of recording of digital recording.
Correct.
So now we are in the clouds.
Correct.
So it was vinyl records, then it transforms into cassettes,
It's
then the cassettes change into CD,
yes.
and then different formats of CDs, and then now in the clouds. Now we are completely in the clouds. Like without any gadget, we are able to transform.
Right.
So we are in that transition. So the evolution is always happening, and we have to be prepared, and we have to take the positivity of the evolution. For example, the best thing of evolution is that YouTube, I see the YouTube in such a way that the search engines helps us to give, like I could say that, okay, 1940 Semmangudi Srinivasa Iyer, the pithamahar of Carnatic music, has sung in the famous music academy. So you say that in my generation I've not seen, or my son would have not seen. So
Correct.
if you want to show the authenticity of this show, you can type on YouTube, then you get an immediate live show or a recorded piece. Or you say that John Coltrane, a live show in Manhattan in the super, Ronnie Scott's, or in London, live show, John Miles Davis live show. And then we don't see that.
Correct.
So
Correct.
in this opportunity, you can see that. So I always see the journey in that. So in that way, I wanted to connect the source, which is Carnatic,
Right.
and the technology, so that I put it as Carnatic, a digital approach to Carnatic music. That's my brand I wanted to. And I gave a talk on this on TEDx also.
Oh, really? Very nice.
Yeah.
And
A small initiation of connecting the technology, I mean, connecting the source grammar and technology, so that it can pass on to the next generation. Because generation always goes within a year, you see a new generation.
yes.
iPhone 3 was like a big boom, and then 4 is 5, and then we are almost on 11 Pro, and now
Yes.
we are approaching the 13,
Correct.
which very recently it's got like a dual, and it'll be like a 13 cameras or 31 cameras. The sky is the limit. So updation is what we need. So I see that in a different perspective. 2020, I see as a technology. So this is just a humble, positive attempt
Very nice.
of connecting these two together.
And what stage of the journey are you at right now?
In the sense,
Are you complete? Is it still work in progress? Is it ready for people to?
yeah, it's still in the progress because it needs time. And as I said, I did the raga research. It was like almost like 15 years, and now I have come out with the album, and it's a learning lesson. Of course, we just a teacher is a good learner, so I am learning. But I could say that with that experience of the live experience, I could get something, and then I wanted to share, so that I put it as an album. And the same way, this technology, it needs a little more time also,
Yes.
where I wanted to experience not only the gadgets, but still, it's just for example, even it's for the people who wanted to know, and also there is a respect for everything. So even for the electronic music, you can't really jump taking out a laptop and then pulling out a sample, or just any machine, or nowadays it's an app world. So it's not that any apps can play and then you can't take the credit saying that I'm a DJ. So you don't do anything, you don't contribute anything.
Correct.
But if you are a DJ, you have to really, look like Chebi Sabah is my inspiration. So he used to take that, he used to convert a vinyl record into a live sample, and then he tried to incorporate CD, and then he tried to make a loop on that, and then he play around that. And if you take Talvin Singh, I had have the opportunity to travel with him. So
oh, really? That's nice.
Yes. Actually, he was the one who started the Facebook, which is a social media. He started the account for me, and I had stayed with him. And then I had an opportunity to see the first live, what do you call, super London style, the proper English, what do you call, the club. And then he was jamming there, and then I went there to sing a alap on the top of the scratching. So he took me to that, and the first time I'm going there with the Maju Indian dress. I didn't even know that you have to wear a boots or even wear a dress code to go inside. And then his name was a man with his English accent. He was saying, "What you gave me, come man, such go, you gotta go with the boots, and you can't wear it." I said, "I can't understand what's that." So this is the evolution. Like travel and experience make the the things better.
Yeah, I remember I listened to Talvin, I think what, 10, 15, 20 years back. I actually bought a cassette and I was blown away. I mean, that music was simply amazing. So yeah, he was, I'm glad to hear you say that. And as we complete the first part of our conversation with Mahesh Vinayakram, please don't go away. Stay tuned in. Next week, we will come back with the second edition of this episode when we will talk about Mahesh's tryst with Cirque du Soleil, how he got selected, his experience, the UNESCO concert, how does he maintain a balance between fusion and classical, his take on music and leadership, and who has been his inspiration, and much more. And at the end of the show, he gets into his own zone and shares with us his classical repertoire and some of the instruments he plays. So stay tuned in and look forward to seeing you again. Bye bye.